Salute to our Blorange Tears fam. What it do? I'd like to thank everybody who's joining us. Knicks after party. And for those who will watch the replay later on, don't forget to support your boys by smashing that like button. And appreciate it. We got a new member, Black University. Salute. So yeah, we got a couple things I want to talk about. We got Kemba's performance as of lately, Evan's performance as of lately, and Mitch's performance as of lately. And we're gonna throw some trades in the mix and things like that. And and Cam, I want to throw Cam and how we haven't had a chance to see him much since we traded for him, and that's kind of where tonight's show is going to go. So yeah, let's go ahead and start with Kemba. The last two games, he scored 0 points in the last two games. We thought that maybe they were going to have him guarding Ja, but they ended up pulling the Warriors and trying to hide him by having him guard Zaire Williams. And that didn't turn out too good. He had 17. He's been averaging 17 points the last two games, 0 for 6. And he had 3 assists in those minutes, And to me, I think those minutes, if you're going to close out with IQ, then what's the harm of starting him instead? And I get it. If we're going to trade him, you kind of want to build up that value. So I'm okay with it for the time being until trade deadline. And if we don't end up, trading him, then just let him walk. So that's kind of where I'm at with him. And other guys could be using that time. We have Rose who's coming back during maybe after All-Star break, and maybe he gets a starting position, depending on his health and if he's ready to roll. Or you got your option of Deuce or IQ. I'm willing to go with either one right now, at the starting position. Mm-hmm. IQ is more of a shooting guard, so I would actually like to keep him at his natural position. But right now we're kind of thin. We're kind of thin at that position, which is crazy because it's the most important position to me. Natural point guards on the roster, we only have Kemba, Rose, and Deuce. Everybody else is kind of a tweener, a combo.
Right.
Yeah, so I know my boy Kelly's still rocking with Kemba. That's kind of nice to have, both sides, one who's for and one who's against. So what is it about Kemba that
oh yeah, go. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying, what is it about Kemba that what is it about Kemba that you want to continue with this, that you having him on the court?
Well, the thing is, like I said, with the trade deadline approaching, the thing is, maybe you don't have to get rid of the vets. Maybe you could just not prioritize them. They're clearly not getting the job done. Maybe you just push them to the side and bring the youngins forward, and just change the trajectory of the team. Put running it through the youngins. Kemba would probably still be a good locker room vet in the back. He don't even got to play. He could probably still be a guy that can get, like, let's say we do compete and we make playoffs. He could still be a guy that comes in and gets playoff minutes. Kind of like what Taj should have been, except Taj is being worn down before we could even make it that far in the season. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, Taj shouldn't be playing unless he should be the last option, not the third option or
end of the bench.
Yep, end of the bench, more of a mentor, and I kind of feel that should be Kemba's role as well.
Right.
Deuce doesn't have the experience right now, but like you mentioned before, we're not winning games anyway, so the only way to get better is to play.
I said Deuce before. And you said, remember you said to me, am I putting my Knicks hat on or my thinking hat on?
Yeah, yeah.
Nope.
I just didn't want. Well, I'm talking about as us as fans. We know what Tibbs is gonna do, so I'm not trying to go that route. It's like beating a dead horse.
Right.
Um, but you get, you know, I would actually swipe out Evan too. So my ideal without Rose would either be, with IQ, Grimes, RJ, Jules, and Mitch. So basically, I'm swapping out the backcourt of Kemba and Evan and putting in a Grimes and a RJ for defensive purposes and putting an IQ, even though it's not ideal for IQ, but he also spaces the floor. You know, um, you can go ahead and press with those two guys at full court, 94 feet. You can press with IQ and Grimes. The way it should be instead of a older guy like a Evan out there trying to press. Then you have RJ as the wing, and so he got Grimes has help and RJ has help at one another as far as guarding the wings and the typical Jules and Mitch. And with the second lineup, I would go Deuce, Evan, Cam, Obi, Sims. We pretty much already know what Burks brings to the table. He's a hot or cold type of guy. He could give you, 6 shots. Out of those 6 shots, he could hit two for 6, give you 4 points. Or, he could shoot 9 and get you anywhere from, double digits. So
Right.
it just depends how aggressive he is.
Yep.
But I'm kind of done with the Burks experiment.
I'm
He's
done with that one, man.
he's a Swiss Army knife and he could guard multiple positions. But right now, I want to see what all that athleticism with the Obi, a Cam, and a Sims brings to the table with the defensive minded point guard, and you still spread the floor with Evan coming off the bench for 3-point shooting, just in case guys can't get that open jump, open look. You have your veteran there. You know what I'm saying? You have someone to kind of go through. You go through Evan, and you have slashers. You have a slashing Cam. That could get to the line. He's gonna help out Evan, and Deuce is gonna help out Evan with the perimeter defense. We know what Obi brings to the table. He leaks out, and then you have an athletic big with Sims to get you those extra possessions. Someone who's going to catch the lobs and not, let it bounce off their hands or go through their hands. So I'm kind of, if you notice, I'm eliminating Noel from the picture, and I'm eliminating Kemba. So if we could get any trades for that, I'm willing to do that, because why do we need 4 centers? Like, why do we need 4 centers, and why do we only have 3 point guards? And one of them's hurt, and Kemba's, he is what he is. So let me salute some cats in the chat.
My
King Ribby RM, salute. Rich Boy, salute. Kenyon, aka Crayon, salute. And Canal Band Lawyer, salute. Appreciate y'all sliding through tonight. So throw your ideal lineups in the chat. First string, second string. Let me know where your guys' mindset is at, and that'll let us know who you guys are for and against. I'm just kind of tired of having these guys in there that aren't producing. And Evan's been producing as of late, so I don't know if you. I know you're an Evan fan, so I don't know if you want to, if you want to keep him as on the starting lineup. Kelly, you got some feedback going on in the background. If you want Evan starting still, if you want him going to the bench, or you kind of done with Evan, because the last 3 games Evan has been performing. He's been scoring in 30.6 minutes. He's been scoring 24 points, grabbing 4 boards and 2.3 assists. That's kind of what we expected from Evan when we signed him. Maybe not 24 points. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a lot, but definitely somewhere around that range. And so I don't. I mean, there's always going to be teams looking for a flamethrower, especially these playoff teams in the West. We have the LA Lakers who are doing bad. Even both LA teams, the Clippers, they're all playoff teams. They're all trying to get to the ship, and we got the Utah Jazz that just got through having one of their players hurt, Joe Ingles, with the torn ACL. So all those teams can use shooters. Now, I'm okay with moving him to the bench or if he got to go and the trade makes sense, then it is what it is. But he has been performing as of late. It's just the defense, the lack of defense that long term is here. Our long term solution. So I'm kind of on the fence with Evan. If he's cold, he's cold. And you can always have a quick trigger and put a Grimes in there. Because he's a 3-and-D type guy too. So I'm okay with those guys right now. Just like I mentioned, just have a quick trigger with them. So. All right. So I'm kind of rocking solo right now. Cody's having a little bit of technical difficulties. So let me salute some more cats in the chat. IQJ, let me read what y'all say. If Evan continues to give us consistent production like this, then the contract ends up being all right. Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. The contract, looks good if he continues, but that's asking a lot right now for Evan to do that. He kind of tricked us in the beginning of the year against that Boston Celtics game. And, he went double overtime. We win the game. And then, he just went cold for a minute. But as of lately, he's been going into the office. He's been talking to Tibbs. He's been telling Tibbs that, we need to adapt. We need to start making some, in-game adjustments. And, he's speaking to Randall, kind of trying to get him back on the same page with others. So, maybe he can still be in the picture. We have him for another couple of years. We kind of know what we're going to get out of him. He's not an athletic dude. He's not. He gives up points on the defense, but as long as you can score, then I'm okay. As long as you match that, then I'm okay. That's kind of where why I'm getting away from the Kemba situation. So let me say so. Salute to Parrish Duggar. Salute to Rich Boy. Salute to Kenneth Hatcher. IQJ. Ashley Inc. 1. So she says Grimes, Fournier, RJ, Randall, Sabonis. So you're looking for a Sabonis trade. And I actually like Sabonis too. I feel like he fits the Knicks better as far as his passing, his willing to pass. I'm saying because he got that from his pops. I'm saying Arvidas. So and he gets to the cup as well. I just don't know what the Pacers are asking for Sabonis, and why would they go older? Sabonis is a little younger than Jules, isn't he? Cully.
Sabonis. I think he might be a little younger actually.
That's what I said. He's a little younger than Jules.
Oh yeah, maybe like a year or two or so. Yeah.
Yeah. So to us it makes sense. I would do it, but I just feel like the asking price would be too much, and they wouldn't want to go older. They're trying to go younger by blowing the team up. So I'm kind of not worried about that or looking towards that. So how do you feel about Evan, Kelly? Are you still on board with Evan, keeping him in the starting lineup? moving him to the bench, getting rid of him? All right. So I'll ask him that question in a minute. Mitch, I want to talk about Mitch.
My bad. So,
You good? Yeah, I was just asking about Evan. Are you still rocking with him?
oh, absolutely. You know it.
Is he still our starter?
Yeah, I'd say so until Tibbs figures that out. I mean, we there's still games to see. We have a game tomorrow, I think. I forgot against who.
The Lakers on Saturday.
Oh, next game is Lakers against. I mean, there's still games to see. But I knew, like, the midpoint. That's when a lot of, like I said, the veterans always get it together around midpoint. We could trade the man off, but I don't know. I don't know where are we? Are we still competing, or are we done this season? That's what I'm trying to figure out. We don't even know.
Mathematically still in there in the play-in.
Right.
You always want to be competitive. You never just want to just throw the towel in. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Right.
not a good look. That's kind of what we've been throughout the years. Always in the lottery.
I mean, with the coach we have, we can't throw the towel in because that would disrespect him. That would disrespect what he stands for. That would really look bad. Now, the only thing is, it's just painful to watch. I mean, when you say you're a win now coach and you're losing, that's kind of like a smack in the face to the fans and the franchise. I mean, that's just how I look at it. I mean, yeah, you got to blame Rose too. We're gonna see what Leon Rose does. There's a lot of pressure on the Knicks, a lot, because this season is very microscopic. If you get what I mean, it's like now we're gonna really see who the problem is. Now everyone's watching. Knicks fans, we're not dumb. We've been through this so many times of new coach, new regime, all this stuff, and all of them have been incompetent.
Yeah. I just want some stability. You know what I mean?
Me too, man. Me too.
I'm tired of the carousel front office. I'm tired of the carousel coaches, the carousel players. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I just kind of just weed players out. If these players aren't performing and they're not in the long-term plan, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Just
right.
I want to see what Cam could do, and
right.
it's kind of up to Cam, to be honest with you. I feel like, and Tibbs mentioned it. Tibbs mentioned that we didn't trade someone, who was, we traded someone who wasn't in the rotation, is what he said. So Cam wasn't in the rotation. So to me, that means like you weren't in the rotation. So don't expect to join the Knicks and just jump into the rotation from the jump.
Right.
You gotta earn your minutes. And
right.
then, so
he
also mentioned that he went on to say that you can't keep adding players too without taking some out. So we kind of did that, and to me that means like who's the guy in front of him? Who's stopping Cam from taking minutes?
And that's the thing, man. If it's Burks, it's just sorry, because it's
that's
like
what I'm saying. Yeah.
And I would think that a guy like Tibbs, who likes making adjustments, well, he doesn't like making adjustments, but he has no problem cutting someone from the team if they're not doing well. So I would think a guy like him, who wants to give his quote unquote always wants to give his team the best chance to win, I would think he'd make a change. You bench Kemba, you got Alec Burks in there. Alec Burks ain't getting it done.
Yeah, he's a streaky shooter.
But he's not. He's not impacting the team that much. So I would think that a guy like that wouldn't be so afraid of change. It's maddening. It's maddening to watch. There's a few games I'll see AB go scoreless, man. He went ghost. I don't know, man. I don't know about this guy. I like AB, but
yeah, but we already know what he is. He's a journeyman. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I think the Knicks just ruined everybody. I think the Knicks just ruined everybody, man. I think they just ruined. They ruined guys, man. They ruined guys already value. They ruined their value for what it already is. He's a journeyman. Why is he starting? Just to get embarrassed on national TV? I don't know at this point. He's not a full-time starter. He's not a stopgap, But that's Tibbs for you.
Exactly. And we're playing him out of position and we're starting him when he's been a journeyman throughout his whole career.
Right.
He's another guy that could go to a playoff team. Those are the types of guys that playoff teams need. They need those microwave scorers. They need those players who don't need the ball in their hand. I'm saying at all times they could just get theirs when needed. Play solid defense, and we know what he is, and play multiple positions. But we have that in a younger guy named Cam. So
versatile defender, right?
Yeah, but my thing is that there was a scouting report on Cam was that he has a low motor, and that's kind of similar to what we had at Knox, and Tibbs being our coach, he's not going to get any run, what I'm saying, by not having a motor. And I mentioned that last show is, I was peeping that with the limited minutes that he was in there, he kind of just, too cool for school, kind of just goes with the flow in the motion. He's not getting in your chest, what I'm saying? He's just basically playing off of his athleticism and his 7-foot wingspan, knowing that he can recover at any given time. So to me, he needs to take a page out of Quentin Grimes, book. How do you get on the hardwood floor with the Tibbs as their coach?
And that's so funny. That's so funny you asked. I'm just thinking of that today. So it's funny. Every time I always think of something today, it becomes a topic. It's funny. I'm just thinking, what stands out with Tibbs that makes that gets guys on the floor? What is it that stands out? I'm thinking, like, I will say though, the guys that when Tibbs finally puts a guy on the floor, they do well. Some of them play better, but I think it's more so with the youngins. But yeah, what is it that McBride did that got him to not see the court anymore? I'm just trying to figure it out. But right, what is it that stands out with Tibbs? It must, like with Grimes you mentioned. What is it, Grimes? He said Grimes wanted to guard RJ in practice and stuff like that, things of that sort.
Exactly. So to me, being a defensive-minded coach, you just got to go in there with that mindset that you're going to go in there and shut whoever you're going up against down. You know what I'm saying? Just being active from the jump. You know what I'm saying? Pressing if necessary, getting in your opponent's chest. You know what I'm saying? With no breathing room. Calling out screens on defense, fighting through screens on defense. Having your head on a swivel. Using your peripherals to see when screens are coming. And those are all the things that Grimes does. He's always bouncy. He's never just standing still. He's kind of in the middle of no man's land while guarding his guy in the post and able to recover and close out on the wings in the corner. You know what I'm saying? He's not just standing around, boxing out when you're down in the post. You see Grimes at 6'5" in the post getting those boards against bigger opponents, whether they're power forwards or small forwards or whatever. You know what I mean? Diving for the rock. That's what Tibbs wants to see. He wants to see you out there. He wants to see you out there sliding your feet and not reaching in, and just that right there. If you go on in those minutes and show that's going to lead to deflections. That's going to lead to fast break points. That's going to point out all the highlights that Cam gives you, that he could go coast to coast. You know what I'm saying? He did that with the first play that he was in the game, got the rebound, went coast to coast, and did a reverse layup off the glass.
Right.
I haven't seen nobody on the Knicks do that this whole year. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He has that athletic ability. He did it just effortlessly. He just did it just, like it was just, first nature, second nature, however you say. It just came natural to him to do those things. Now, if he just go ahead.
I thought what's the name? McBride did that though. I thought he does. I thought that's the genetic makeup of McBride. Like, guy with a long wingspan, irritating on defense, hounds you like a pit bull. That's what I thought. But I'm just trying to figure it out. I don't know if it's because of his position, the whole point guard thing. I really don't know. It just throws me off.
Yeah, I'm with you because he showed that tenacity when he was out there. Same thing as Grimes, and Tibbs mentioned that before in an interview, that when he was giving Grimes kudos, he basically said that McBride is a spin image of that he shows the same kind of fire and desire. Shout out to Clyde. But the point guard position, you got to set everybody up. But so I don't know. Like I don't know what Tibbs is thinking. But I know that's how Grimes got on the court. And once he got on the court with his defense, he was knocking shots down with when our other guards weren't able to. So that kind of forced Tibbs' hand to give him more minutes when he definitely was deserving it. So that's kind of just what I'm getting at. You gotta start somewhere, and with Tibbs, it starts on the defensive end, getting on the floor.
Well, I'm so confused. But right. Yeah. Well, I'm just confused with McBride. Yeah, I mean, as far as him and Cam, those are the big question marks for me right now. But yes.
Well, to me is like you mentioned, he just it's our point guards. I think if you eliminate Kemba, it forces either him to start IQ and then have a Deuce off the bench,
right?
And then if you get rid of a Burks, that definitely eliminates Burks being the backup point guard. We know that's not what he is. It's time to see what these kids could do,
right?
And so I'm kind of looking forward to February 10th to see if that happens. If we just go ahead and cut our losses and let that come.
In most Knicks history, trade deadlines have been they've actually been sad for us. A lot of times we don't make a move. We see how this plays out, man. Change has to be made, though.
It has to. I mean, I don't know. And I mentioned before, I would go after I'm gonna say it again. I'd go after Brunson. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's 6'1", 6'1". Depending on if he's wearing up tempo Nikes with the bubbles, get you the extra inch, or he's wearing Jordan 1s where there's no not that much sole on there. So yeah, he's 6'1". He's averaging 15.8 points a game, 3.8 boards, and 5.5 assists. And without Luka, he's averaging 19.7 points, 7.9 assists, 3.9 boards, and that's 56% field goal shooting and 38% in 3-point shooting.
Right.
I mean, he also is a high percent finisher at the cup. You know what I'm saying? He finishes at the cup at 71%, and his handle's tight enough where he gets to the cup where he's crossing you over, and he's able to finish on both sides using the window with either hand, whether it's a reverse layup with his left hand or a reverse layup with his right hand. And in the midi, you know what I'm saying, he's dangerous in the midi too, where he could give you a quick little hezzy, take a little step back and drain it from there. Or you know what I'm saying, like he has multiple, tools in his bag. Like he could drive to the cup, stop, pivot, you know what I'm saying, and hit a little midi from there. That's no count. I'm just saying, like he got a lot. He got a lot though. I mean, his 3-point percentage isn't great though, but without Luka, it seems like he takes that challenge. You know what I'm saying? Like he's willing to have the spotlight on him. You know what I'm saying? And take the reins when Luka's not there. So to me, there's no brighter place that magnifies your game than New York. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he would shine out here, take the ball out of Randall's hand, or
guard, man. We see the guard.
Or if Randall's not scoring,
right?
You know what I'm saying? He could take, he could help RJ out with the scoring load as well. And he's deadly in the pick and roll. You mentioned it a lot that what do the Knicks need? More pick and roll. You know what I'm saying?
You need a ton of it.
Yeah, and he's ranked number 2. You know what I'm saying, in pick and roll with the Rock. So I mean, like he has a lot of pros than cons. I would say the only con is his height, but you can't measure heart either, though. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
So he makes up for that. I mean, look at all
the size of him, man.
You can say the same thing about
But I'm not.
Fred Van Lee. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
You can say
No,
the
that's
same
what
thing.
I'm not really. The thing is, I'm not really worried about the size because the thing is, I'm not. I'm not. I mean, yeah, I like guys that can play defense, but I mean, I'm more so as far as defense. I want it more from the wing positions. I'm not really worried about the point guard positions as long as the point guard can give me an offense. That's my thing. As long as they can give me an offense, I'm not the most worried about a you know a defense that they bring. I just want to see that. I want their offense to be their defense. That's kind of like what I wanted from Kimba, but it hasn't really worked for us. Although if I got to play advocate, I will say if we had an offensive minded coach and we ran more pick and roll here, we might be able to get more out of Kimba. But I mean, it is what it is at this point. It is what it is.
Yeah, I was just pulling out some positive things about Brunson that we asked about. He's also ranked number 2. You know what I'm saying, going to the cup at his position. And,
For Brunson.
Yeah, he's ranked number 2 in a lot of categories. You know what I'm saying,
The man is fearless, I will say.
Getting to the cup, finishing at the cup. Pick and roll, all the things that we ask for a point guard, all the things that Tibbs likes. He likes a point guard that could, penetrating and get to the cup or kick out. You know what I'm saying, to these shooters, whether it's a Grimes, Evan. You know what I mean? Like, we would look so much different by able to have the defenses collapse and either finishing or kicking out. That's the thing about Kemba is he can't finish at the cup. So once he gets there, he's kind of pivoting, turning around to outlet to whoever's open.
Right.
And then he's just not hitting his shots right now. Like I mentioned, he's 0 for 6. He shot a 3, got his own board, and then he airballed. Then he airballed the midi. You know what I'm saying?
He hasn't scored. What is he? I don't know if it's a 3 or a field goal since the Miami game. I've heard.
He hasn't in 2 games. Yeah, in 2 games he hasn't.
Oh man, Kimba's making me look bad, man. I got all this money on Kimba, man.
Oh, the truth comes out, huh? That's what it's about. I got you.
Playing, not the money, but I love Kimba, man. I love. Maybe you know what it is. I think it's just I'm going with my fellow New Yorker. I guess that's what it is with Kimba. Even though he did curve us, he curved us in the end. It's probably coming back to bite him. Because it's like you could have had your good years in New York, and now we got your bad years here, and it's gonna haunt you when you have bad years in New York. It's gonna get you bad. We're gonna always look at you. But I mean, some of the Knicks fans, a lot of Knicks fans still like Kemba though. A lot of New Yorkers still rock with him, regardless. But yeah, because it's not like what it is. We ain't overpay him. That's why. So it's low risk, high reward. He's part of a small problem. He's not part of a big picture problem. So it's like it's not the.
He's part of the big picture problem because, like I mentioned, they're trying to disguise and hide him and guarding wings now because you can't even put him at the point position because he's getting ate up. So now you're not scoring. So not only are you giving up points, but you're not scoring. So what's the point of you being out there? We talk about Obi Toppin running around and getting cardio. That's cardio Kemba now. It's not cardiac Kemba. It's cardio Kemba.
Cardio Kemba. Well, that of course that in the knee, then you could call him stem cell Kemba for the arthritis. So be it.
That's all I'm saying. Though we have a lot of young players, good players that we kind of just want to see what they're about, and then let them get some run. It's
right.
It's been a minute, and it's in multiple positions. We have Deuce at the point guard. We got IQ as a shooting guard, Grimes as a shooting guard. We got Obi as a power forward, Cam as a small forward. Not to mention RJ. So then we have a nice backup center in Sims who's athletic. It's time to get rid of these other cats, man, and put the money somewhere else. That's kind of just what I'm getting at.
Right.
Like Mitch. So I want to talk a little bit about Mitch. The last 9 games.
Go ahead.
He's been showing up and showing out. He's been showcasing his abilities for not only the Knicks, but on that extension on his next contract. But he's letting the NBA, the rest of the NBA know that he means business. He's ready to get paid as he should. Like he's he's like that unicorn. He's like that 7-foot defensive specialist. That even though he's just a rim runner.
Damn, I wish he did more, but yeah.
But he's showing a lot lately. So I just wanted to mention that last 9 games he's been averaging 10.4 points, 9.7 boards. So that's almost a double-double. The last 9 games. That's pretty much what we expect out of Mitchell Robinson. We don't expect him to be 14, 16, 18 points. 10, 11, points. And if he hit those free throws, he'd be even deadlier. He would be in those 14, 16 points. And that's another story. That could go for the whole team, because our free throws have been garbage lately. But I just want to point out the positive things right now, though. He took that matchup against Adams. Aquaman. He definitely outperformed him. And we know Adams is a strong dude. You know what I'm saying? Like he clogs the paint. Somebody goes in there. He's gonna box out. He's very fundamentally sound. And he just took him to school. He had 14 points. He had 14 points. Mitchell Robinson did 11 boards and 8 blocks. 7 of those boards were offensive boards, and Adams only had 2 points. And 13 boards. And Mitch kind of joked around after the game, said, "Yeah, my back's kind of sore going up against that dude. That dude is strong." And you can tell them like standing next to each other, when someone's shooting free throws or whatever, and like you could see the size and how standing next to each other, one's bigger than the other. I'm like, Mitch, took that challenge to the heart, you know what I'm saying? And not only that, he was out there he blocked Ja twice.
He blocked Mitch. He looks like he's in good shape, man. It looks like this is probably the best. It looks like the best version of himself. That's what he looks like right now.
Yeah, because he's not that skinny little kid anymore, you know what I'm saying, where he could get pushed around. He could get pushed around.
Like a boxer when they're at like their natural fighting weight. He looks like he's at his right weight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like almost like prime weight,
Yeah, like prime weight. Like he's at his prime weight. So that's a good look for Mitch. Now I seen another Knicks channel. Their topic was, I think it's time for Mitch to get paid. So I mean, hey, you never know, man. I don't know. The thing is, it's funny because he's another topic we got to decide. Are they gonna let this man walk just like that, or are they gonna get some value from him, or are they gonna pay him? It's hard to really. I just know in the NBA you got to gamble. As a front office person, you got to gamble. You got to gamble.
Right. Yeah.
He may be because of the injury, but he's playing.
That's with every big, though. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about 7-footers who are 2 plus on the heavy side, and 270, 280 or whatever.
Right.
Just running around, throwing their body around, and he throws his body around a lot. He ends up on the ground. He ends up, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
So it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. That's why we have 4. We don't need 4 centers. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason we do. But
you said we don't need 4. What do you
mean? Yeah, we don't need 4. We don't.
4 bigs.
Yeah, you can always go small ball. You know what I mean? And go small ball with the.
Well. One thing we don't need 4 bigs, but we do need size. I will say, we do need some size on this team, man. But maybe not in that department though. I mean, we also do need athleticism. I think I think Sims is solid, young athlete. I think he's solid in that department.
That's what I'm saying. We have Sims.
I'm okay with Sims, Noel, and Mitch. Taj, not so much. But that's just me.
I'm ready to trade Noel.
Me too. Because I'm okay with Sims. I'm okay with young. What do you call it? I'm okay with the 2 young bigs. Two young athletes. They may not be scoring threats, but I'm okay with the athleticism of them. You know.
Because when it comes down to it, you have Mitch, who's an athletic big. You know what I'm saying? I just mentioned that he just blocked Ja twice, and then Ja tried to baptize him. You know what I'm saying? And he blocked him, but he got called for the foul. I mean, if you want to call that a foul, but he was just shaking his head like nah, Ja, you ain't gonna posterize me. Like I'm not having it. At the same time,
Yeah, I remember. Right. Yeah.
And he was telling the refs too, like that wasn't no foul.
Wasn't a foul, right?
He was like, that wasn't no foul, refs. Like I know that's Ja, but you know what I'm saying. You got to put some respect on my name because I'm out here just blocking everybody.
Ja's trying to go. He's trying to. Yeah, Ja was trying. Yeah, Mitch was trying to block everything, and Ja's trying to dunk everything. That's all that was. It was a challenge at the rim.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He has to leave his man Steven Adams to go out there and contest that shot. I mean, we're talking about Ja full steam ahead. You know what I'm saying? And has that timing down where he's gonna yam on him. All Mitch can do is just react. Just read and react. At the same time, though, he blocked Jaren Jackson Jr. at the end of the game too, with 2 minutes and 7 seconds left. It was a tip block though. It wasn't just a solid block though. But when Jaren Jackson has been going off the whole game, scoring on Jules and scoring on whoever else is out there, the game was pretty much over. And Mitch was like, not for me. I'm still going to go out there and compete. So that to me says a lot of where his head's at and how he's taking the game more serious now. Another time was he was down there in the low post on the block with Adams, and the ball got whipped out to Desmond Bain out in the corner, and Mitch ran out there to close out and blocked him with two hands and ripped the ball away from him, and it went to RJ on a fast break. So for a 7-footer to lead the low post and go close out on the corner, and he's done it before blocking the ball, but sending it to the stands. This time he had more, he knew just to keep the ball in play and not just block it out of bounds and get a highlight, but let's keep the play alive and get a fast break point as well. So he's starting to learn the game a lot more on figuring out, like I mentioned, how to keep the play alive. So I'm really impressed with how Mitch is playing out there. How he's working, how he's taking his opponent's necks, seriously. So now we have on Saturday. Who do we got? We got the Lakers. So who's the starting center for the Lakers? I know Dwight Howard is he the backup? He's probably the backup though.
Dwight Howard, damn. That's actually a good question. The starting center, I don't know why I don't know. I thought it was Dwight. That's all I can think of.
It could be.
I don't know why I can't think of who is set.
But that'd be another good matchup right there. Dwight Howard's a Superman supposedly. Superman. So we'll see going up against strength, and he still has that athleticism a little bit. He might get into Mitchell Robinson's head by playing a little dirty, and we'll see how he takes that. We'll see when he gets chin checked and his mouth is a little bloody, how he reacts to that, and does it get into his head and or does he continue with the strategy and game plan of continuing to grind and get dirty down there in the low post. So, or does he take him out to the 3-point line and hit him with the Euro like he did Plumlee? I mean, I don't know who this new Mitch is, man. He's just impressing me every game with different things he brings with his ball handling skills and getting to the cup or boxing out and getting putbacks and catching those wraparounds. He caught a wraparound pass from Kemba and yammed it. So he's paying attention. He's not just looking up. He's paying attention to what the next play is going to be. If the ball's going to go to him, he's going to the timing. I mean, he's getting a lot of offensive boards, so his timing on grabbing those boards and boxing out is immaculate. So I'm really impressed with how Mitch has been out there these last couple of games. He's kind of putting it all together right now and figuring it out. So yeah, I'm with you though. I don't know what they're gonna do. Salute some more cats in the chat. Robert Parr, what to do? Johnny
Yes, Parr, our future media, King Grimmy, Rod Tucker, salute guys.
Yep.
Salute. IQJ, keep turning salute. Mitch got bullied that time he matched up with Howard. Yeah, that's funny. I don't know if that was in LA or in New York. No, that's Drummond. That was Andre Drummond at the time last year, but yeah.
Oh, that's when they both played for the Sixers that year. Is that what you're talking about? When they both played for the Sixers?
Oh yeah, Sixers. I forgot.
Yeah, it was Embiid. Yeah, it was Embiid and Dwight Howard, and now it's Embiid and Drummond.
Right.
So
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Usually, in most bad seasons we had as Knicks fans, usually at the midpoint, I'm usually done by this point watching the team because usually at this point we're out of the playoffs. However, we're not out of the playoffs yet. We're not completely ruled out yet. But I'm not. When the games come on, I'm not looking forward to them. I don't know. You know what it is? I'm not liking the energy of the team. And the energy of the team is not. It's not. I don't know. It doesn't give me the drive to watch the game. So if I don't like the energy of the team, I don't know. I haven't been feeling it, man. I haven't been liking the energy from the starters. It might seem like I'm giving up on the team, but I don't like the energy.
No, I hear you though, because it's fool's gold. Because then we make this little run, you know what I'm saying, and we have like kind of with IQ and his back-to-back trades, and then we start getting a little run, and then they just fall apart. Turnovers end up happening, and just you think you're closing the gap, and you're in single digits, and then all of a sudden just they get back into double digits, and you're kind of out of the game. So yeah, I get it. But
yeah, I'm just not. I don't like the energy, man. Changes got to be made. Something got to be done.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult watching these games because you know what the end result's going to be when they're not all clicking on all cylinders. One person is trying to carry the team, and not everybody's together on the same page. And being on this show, you got to finish watching the game so you got something to talk about. I used to tell my kids they used to cry playing video games, and I used to tell them, "What are you crying for?" So I'm a Knicks fan. I should be the one crying all the time. I used to tell them, what I do is I turn the game off and I go back to the game later on. It could be a day later, it could be a couple days later. Then I finally calm myself down and I'll finish watching the game. And I said, but now I can't even do that. Now I got to force myself to finish watching this game, knowing what the end result is going to be, and it's just going to piss me off. So I just had to add that out there. Yeah, I mean that's why I try to just look at the positive things. You know what I'm saying? We have a nice young team, and the future is bright as far as all these positions. We just got to get them on the floor now and see what they could do. And yeah, I just don't know how it's going to happen other than trading these players or due to injury. And I don't put injury on anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So let's just get rid of them then. Yeah. So what else do you want to talk about, Kelly?
I just seen Johnny Davis said, what is Julius' side of the story? Something's wrong. That's what I'm trying to figure out, man. It's funny. I was thinking about that too. I feel like you can make a documentary of this dude, like the rise and fall of Julius, like star in New York, and now it's like, look how he's played. Look at him now. Like he looks like he doesn't want to be there. Like he's checked out, like emotionally, mentally, everything. You know what I mean? It just looks like.
Yeah. Well, winning cures everything, and when you're not winning, that's when the fingers start being pointed at players. And when you're the captain of the ship, then you have to go down with the ship. You know what I'm saying? And he's trying to jump overboard right now. He's trying to dip out on his mates before the ship goes down. So instead of him pointing the fingers at everybody else, he needs to point the finger at himself though, because he's just letting all that outside noise get to him. You know, whether it's fans, him having, what was it, the fan in Miami he had kicked out, you know what I'm saying, for heckling him. You know, he's booing the fans. I mean, he's going into a slump right now. He can't hit the ocean from the beach.
Can't get the water from a boat.
Yeah, he can't. Yeah, I mean, like nothing's going in. And when he goes to the cup and he doesn't get fouled, he throws a fit. You know what I'm saying? He gets fouled and doesn't get the call, is what it is. You know what I mean? And that right there, all that tension when you go to the free throw line, it's like you're gonna clank it because you're not relaxed. You know,
right?
Going to the free throw line is just you in the hoop. You just got to relax, zone everything out. It's all muscle memory. You've done this a million times. And when the thing is, he can't let nothing go. So once he starts having a bad game, like everything else just keeps building on it. Everything just is on his shoulders, getting heavier and heavier and heavier until he breaks. Is what it is. He needs and he just needs to let things go. You know, that's his problem. A lot of players, you know, they turn off, you know, Twitter or whatever social media accounts they have, you know, during whatever playoff time or whatever. I just feel like he needs I just feel like he needs to take a break from there and you know, turn all that stuff off right now and kind of start up to square one. You know how like in the movies when you get beat up or you lose a fight or whatever you lose, you got to go back to your old stomping grounds and start from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what he needs to do. He needs to figure out, you know, what was it where was that turning point, and how can you get back to being basically happy Randall? You know what I'm saying? How can you go back to being? The game should be fun. There's no reason why you should be barking at the referees and barking at the fans and stuff like that. Man, you get paid millions of dollars to play a game. You know what I'm saying? Games are supposed to be fun. You know what I'm saying? It's not supposed to make you angry. You know, and I go back to my kids. You know, when they're crying, I'm like, "What are you crying for? It's a video game. You're supposed to be having fun. You know, playing games. If you're not having fun anymore, shut the game off. Point blank. Period. You know, go do something else and then come back to it later on." So that's kind of what he needs to do. He needs to have a reset, and maybe with the All-Star break, you know, coming up pretty soon, maybe he's able to reset and kind of start all over. Maybe do a little family vacation or something like that. But yeah, it's definitely getting to him right now. I'm still not with Trade Randall. You know what I mean? I'm still not on the Trade Randall. I mean, we knew that he cracks under pressure. We knew, you know, with all the spindle Randall handle, and that's what happened the first year. You know, how many of us Knicks fans wanted him gone after the first year?
Well, a lot of us. I didn't want him going yet, though, per se.
I didn't want him gone then, and I don't want him gone now. You know, just, you know, they brought players in here to to help him out, and it doesn't seem like he has that big brother. It doesn't, you know, there seems like there's a disconnection because, you know, it's either probably Taj. That's probably the only other one that, you know, that can kind of help him out and tell him, you know, it's going to be all right. But I don't know. We just have too many unspoken, you know, not outspoken vets. You know, Julius not really an outspoken guy. You know, Kemba's not outspoken. Rose ain't outspoken. Burks ain't outspoken. You know, they need to bring somebody else in here that can be more outspoken. Kind of help them out. So I don't know. That's why I'm kind of not on the fire Tibbs either, though. You know, you can't expect to make a full course meal with you know.
My only thing I have a problem with Tibbs. I'm on the fire Tibbs. I know he was coach of the year. I know, but I don't know, man. It's okay. I don't know. I don't know.
He still doesn't have the necessary tools though that he needs to build a house. You know what I'm
My
saying?
thing is, what are his tools per se? Like the free agency market is thin. We're not. The thing is, these guys gotta want to come here. I did hear that he liked Norman Powell. I wish we made a run at Norman Powell. I liked him last year. Plus, he was cheaper. We gave all our money to Fournier. It's like I guess that was like the big signing of supposed to be the big signing of 2021. Fournier. We gave all the money to him. We traded back to save cap space, and that was the move for Fournier. And the last little $8 million was for Kimba. So it's like they could have gotten DeRozan. I like Lonzo, but I wasn't big on him. They could have gotten who else? They could have gotten DeRozan. They could have gotten Norman Powell and Gary Trent, and still had enough money. I don't know why they didn't even try. At least call the max the guys. I mean, it is what it is. I just don't know what Tibbs guy though. I'm at this point now. I think that a Tibbs guy is just Rose and Taj. That's who I see as Tibbs guys now. Just Rose and Taj, guys that he knew from many, and Chicago. And that's it.
Yeah, we know that Tibbs has his favorite players. You know what I'm saying,
Right.
and that double standard, and he's gonna treat certain players a certain way, and other players a certain a different way. Because you can say the same thing about Rose. He's not really a defensive stopper. You know what I'm saying? He's more of an offensive minded. I'm gonna go out and get my bucket. You know what I mean? And,
Right.
And I'm not looking to pass and cut and set screens and cut hard, and he kind of trots around too when he's out there. He's not fully committed on the offensive end. He kind of just trots around, and then when it's time for him to get that burst speed, I'm saying, get to the cup, he does it.
Right.
And then he kind of trots back on defense, and goes around screens when he's on screens. So I mean, I get it though. I mean, but at the same time, he's also scoring. He also has his head up, looking for outlets on Obi. Getting him involved. So there's other elements to his game. There's no perfect player, and that's why it's a team sport. Because when you lack something on one end, you're hoping for your teammates to pick up the slack for you on the other. But when we have two players on our backcourt that are liabilities, that neither one of them can watch each other's back, that's where the change has to be made. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's not a perfect roster.
Yeah, it's not construct. I mean, the funny thing is, it's just not. It's not a Tibbs roster. I figure. I'm not saying the guys suck. I'm not saying that these guys are the best guys, but I just feel like I don't know, man. Our offensive coach probably could have got more out of this team. I just think we need to run more modern, but that's just me, man. I just don't feel like we run modern enough. I feel like we run too much ISO. That's the early 2000s style of play, man. The late 90s, early 2000s park pickup type of game, and just pray for a hero. I feel like that's what we're doing. We're praying for a hero in those final moments of the game.
Yeah. Sure, Dam says, if you were watching the game the first half, Randall was going to the basket so quickly that the double team was able to come. Randall figured not how to get double teamed. I've been mentioned that, Sherwin, that there's not too many players that can stop him once he puts his head down and gets to the cup.
Yeah, he got to get utilized in the paint more, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's guys like Zion. There's guys like Giannis. There's guys like LeBron. Those guys, those big strong guys. All they got to do, with their physicality and their strength and their speed, is they're like a Mack truck. You know what I'm saying? Like, put your head down and get out of the way. And that's what Randall was complaining about, is just because he's so big and strong, it may not look like he's getting fouled, but he's definitely getting fouled. But what do you do when you do get fouled? Are you making those free throws? Yeah.
Right. You complaining about it, and oh man, you complain about the free throws, and when you get them, you miss them in the big moment. I don't
Yeah,
understand it. I just don't understand it, man. I don't understand it anymore with the Knicks. I
yeah.
don't know, man. It's just it's frustrating, and it's not. I don't know. It's just not. It's not given. I don't have the what do you call it? The interest to watch these games anymore. And it's already. And the crazy thing is, we're still competitive. I just don't. I don't know. I just stopped caring about it. Maybe it's because of the coach. I don't know. But you know
Because
what it is? I like to
yeah,
see change. I like to see change. That's what it is with me.
just a little bit. You know what I mean? Don't be so stuck in your ways where you're not willing to, to mix and match these combinations.
Right.
But it is what it is. I'm not gonna beat myself up over that. Um, so we got the Lakers on Saturday. It's gonna give Russell Westbrook a chance to showcase his talents and and see if there's a trade there. He's been on the chopping block, and he's been sitting down in fourth quarters, and you know he may be available. Is that something you would do?
For Westbrook, not really. However, I always say Westbrook gets it. He usually gets it together. He's another one that gets it together around this time of the season. He starts clicking, but I don't know because he's not going to want to stay here. He's not going to want to waste his time in New York. He'll probably bring up. The funny thing is with Westbrook, he'll shift the energy of the team. However, I don't know if he'll make us win. Because we do need some fight in this team, and we need like at least two guys and it's energy type of guys. But I don't know if I depend on Westbrook for that at this point in his career. That's just me though.
He's very passionate. You know what I'm saying? And he's gonna bring the energy. That's one thing he does is bring the energy. You know what I'm saying? Plays 100 miles an hour. But yeah, I mean he can't shoot. You know what I'm saying? He's a turnover machine. But I'm gonna give a shout out to Chuck Allen. He's the one that brought it up. With the cap space, you get rid of all these players. You get rid of a
Right. Somebody said definitely not maybe 3 years ago. Right. In 2019, when we was gonna trade Dennis Smith for him, I would have done it then. We decided to roll with Dennis Smith. That set us back. He didn't do nothing for us.
But we're also last in pace, though. You know what I mean?
So what?
We're also last in pace.
Right. We need some energy, yo. We don't have no energy.
So if we're last in pace, Russell Westbrook definitely brings that pace, that up tempo. You know what I mean?
Right.
It'll get these young cats, running. You get Obi out in transition. You get a Cam out in transition. I'm just throwing things out there. I'm not saying I'm for or with it, but I admit, I can see his point of view of getting rid of three players, opening up three roster spots, and giving a chance for these young kids to run. Knowing that he'll only be here for one more year. So there won't be a Burks, there won't be a Kemba, and I don't know, maybe a Noels or Evan. So however they slice it and dice it and figure it out, that could be an option. Or what about and he's always a triple double machine. I mean, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. What about a Spencer Dinwiddie? Did you hear maybe Spencer Dinwiddie?
No, I don't know, man. He don't care for the Knicks.
But if you get traded, it's not up to you.
Yeah, but I don't know. He's gonna leave. He's gonna leave as soon as free agency starts. He's not gonna do it. He's not gonna do it. He's not gonna do it as soon as he's not gonna be an instant impact. Is what I'm saying. So that would make no sense. He'll probably play. That's what the contract tells him to play. But yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking long term.
Well, he's
Huh?
well he's on a 3-year contract for. I mean, it'll be 2 years after this year, so you got him for 2.5 years. You know what I'm saying while you're grooming a deuce, or maybe you get somebody else in the draft, but I mean, you got him for another 2 years. So he'd be on the same contract as a Rose. So now you got your two vets for the next 2.5 years. He's that 6'5" point guard that a lot of Knicks fans want. You know, they want tall point guards. You know, he has that. He's 6'5". You'd be able to switch on the defensive end. You know, whether you have a Grimes, a shooting guard, or an Evan. So he's averaging 13 points right now too, 4.8 boards and 5.9 assists. His field goal percentage is at 37%. His 3-point percentage is down at 31. But he does something that the Knicks don't do, and he hits his free throws. So he's an 80% free throw shooter, and that's something that Tibbs likes. You know, you drive to the cup, you get fouled, you go to the charity stripe, and you sink those free throws. I mean, I don't know. That could be one option.
What'd you say? My fault.
I was just talking about Spencer Dinwiddie's stats and him being an 80% free throw shooter, something we're lacking. You know?
Right. No, I mean, yeah. Only thing is, I mean, I don't know. Spencer Dinwiddie's tight, but I don't know. Why would the Wizards getting rid of him? I guess they're just rebuilding. Are they trying to make Bale happy?
I don't know. Just something I read. Just trade rumors.
So it's just something you read?
Yeah. You know. Yep. I don't know. So who would you go after? Is there somebody you'd go after?
I mean, probably at this point, just DeJounte Murray, man. At this point, I probably will get another wing in here, but that's about it at this point. That's about it.
Yeah.
De'Aaron Fox, I like him, but I'm not crazy about him. That's about it. I'd say just DeJounte Murray. I'll probably get another wing in here. I was thinking about this today too. I think we need some energy in here, man. That's what I think we need. I would try to grab a guy like I like this guy, but I know we're not gonna get him. I like Dylan Brooks. I like him a lot, man.
Yeah, he didn't play yesterday.
A guy like that.
Is he hurt right now?
Yeah, he's hurt right now. Yeah, but they're not. The team's not looking for him to do anything for them offensively. It's the energy and the defense, things like that. Like, I think we need an energy guy. So I was thinking like a Marcus Smart. Like I said, that's just me, man. I think we need some energy in here. When the guys look lackadaisical, that's what we need. Somebody that's going to hold everyone accountable, every single player on the team accountable. I think that's what we need, man. Right, man, Charles. Spencer's been dissing us for years. I just don't see it with Spencer. I don't even think it should be a business move.
What about a Patrick Beverly, someone to rile up the troops and get in people's heads?
But that's a guy we should have gotten years ago. Another guy we should have gotten probably a while ago.
Yeah, he's always good for getting into people's heads. You know what I'm saying? Throwing them off their game.
Right. Someone like him, just a ish starter. shit starter. Pardon
Yeah.
my. That's when you a shit starter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We was like when we had like Marcus Morris would have been on this team now. That's just me. He'd have been solid now. That's just me. I don't know. I just like energy players. We don't have none of that here. There's times where we look, like I said, there's times where we look very lackadaisical. You know, like guys don't want to be out there. So I think something in between that, some type of intangible between that. That's where you get a guy. That's where you get an energy guy. That's where you fit an energy guy into the rotation. Now we have the defender we want. He may not be an energy guy in Cam Reddish. We have an athletic defender, but you know, Tibbs doesn't see stuff in him. So
According to the scouting report, he lacks energy. So
right.
I don't know.
So according to the scouting report, right, doesn't have the motor, quote unquote. So I can't call it.
So you think that De'Aaron Fox rumor is true, or would you do it?
But the Aaron Fox move, I'm not even sure. I don't know if I see it with him either. But I mean, I don't know. I'd rather DeJounte Murray. They probably cost about the same.
Nah, they not letting go. They not. You don't hear no DeJounte Murray rumors though.
Right. I don't even know if they let him go. I don't even know if they trade him.
That's what I'm saying. Like you hear the De'Aaron Fox
We're
rumors.
just interested. Yeah, you hear the De'Aaron Fox rumors.
You don't hear no DeJounte Murray rumors arouse everybody to be on board on trying to get him. But De'Aaron Fox is 6'3".
Right.
He's averaging 20 points. 20.9 points, 5.1 assists. His 3-pointers is horrible though. He only hits.
Him and Murray, DeJounte Murray. Only thing is, one is a better defender than the other, but one is quicker. I don't know. What do we need? We need offense, or we probably would have a safer chance with what do you call? We probably would have a safer chance with Murray. De'Aaron Fox, he's a guy that pushes the pace, and DeJounte Murray can push the pace too if he needs to, if need be. So I guess it's kind of like the thing is with DeJounte Murray, he doesn't have the speed. However, he'll push the pace, and he'll get out in transition. He'll get out. What was I gonna say? He'll get out in transition. Only thing with Fox is Fox has the speed.
That's Swiper. Yeah, Swiper to Fox.
Right.
Yeah, and he hit the midi though too. He's a 45% field goal shooter. So.
Swiper?
Yeah, Swiper is. Like I mentioned, his 3-point percentage is like at 25%, so he can't shoot no trays though. But as long as you make the defense collapse and finish at the cut, you know what I'm saying, or kick out, then I'm all right with that. Not everybody needs to be a 3-point shooter. If you could finish at the cup and have a midi like he does, then I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? His free throw percentage isn't that great though. It's only like 74%. So that's already a problem we're having issues with right now is free throw shooting. So 74 is okay. 74 is okay. But, yeah, the cost would be a lot though. At least 2 first rounders, and then you got to make the money match. Because he makes 163 for 5 years, and then the yearly would be 32 milli. But you have him until 2026, so you got him for another 4 years. But 32 milli though, that's a lot. Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just think we need an energy guy, man. We need an energy guy. I think we need a Marcus Smart on here. A guy
We
that's
already, we already got a Marcus Smart. His name is Miles McBride.
yeah, exactly. See, that's the thing. Only thing is he don't bark. Not yet. He bites. He bites, but he don't bark.
He's still young.
He bites and barks.
He's
What I
still
mean
young.
by that is he's gonna hold guys. He's holding star players accountable in Boston. You know what I mean? McBride he bites. He doesn't hold nobody. He's a rookie, so he's not gonna hold nobody accountable yet. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing. So I know yeah, you're right about that though. We have a Marcus Smart and we have a Marcus Smart. I'm gonna call it here. We have a Marcus Smart and a young Kyle Lowry with Miles McBride. He has that dog in him. But it's just a matter of him finding a spot in the rotation. That's what I'm saying. These trades, and that's what it is. So these trades, I don't know. The thing is, I don't care about any trade because I don't know how it'll work with Tibbs if he has to quote unquote find guys I mean, a trade would open up playtime for a guy, but I don't know how does he find minutes for a guy like Tibbs. How does he find the minutes for somebody if he can't find it for Cam? It's kind of like I said, you have the veterans. You may not even have to trade them. Maybe you should just push the youngest to the front, give them the time they need. You know what I'm saying, and do it that way. Tibbs, man, he makes coaching harder than it should be. Tibbs makes it way harder than it should be. And a part of that, of course, is being offensively limited. You have guys, you have depth. I heard Jay Boogie say, I think it was earlier today, he said, shout out to the front office. They built the team just to beat the Hawks. You know, they got McBride, they got the Grimes, guys that can defend point guards and put pressure on the teams with defense. But we got to figure out how to win. There's other ways to win. You know what I mean? There's other teams we got to play. We got to get down that road first. We might not even get a rematch with them in no playoffs. We might not make it. They might not make it either. I don't know. I can't call it, but it's the coaching. How does Tibbs find minutes for certain guys? Now, I mean, of course, if you trade a Kimba for a Fox or a Murray, they get that starting spot right there. But for one, you got to pull that trade off. Spurs may not want a Kimba Walker. You know what I mean? They may not want a Fournier. Maybe a Fournier they may want. Fournier may be solid for a Spurs team, but you know, you got to pull that. You got to figure out how you're gonna pull that off. That's my concern. My concern is the coaching, man.
Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere for
Who?
a while. At least this year, next year.
Who, Fox?
No, the coach.
Yeah, that's the sad part, man. It's another repetitive, another scenario of my camera. Another scenario of another scenery where here we are. I'm going with my best chance to win, and got these veterans out there that's losing. You know, it's frustrating. That's why I haven't been crazy to watch the games. And I know RJ. I say the starting unit is horrible. I know RJ is part of that starting unit, and I like RJ, but it's just effing horrible, man. Sorry, they just look lackadaisical at times. You know what it is. I like the guys in the lineup. I like every guy in the starting lineup. It's not the right fit. Let's just put it like that. It's just a bad fit. Fournier is not a bad player. It may not be the right fit. He ran a lot of pick and roll in Orlando. That's why he was able to get freed up all the time. That's what guys do most of the time. So they don't have to ISO. You got these good defenders on them, limiting their game, negating their game. They use screens all day. You know, they may have an ISO play down the stretch here and there. That's when you get the best of them in the stretch games. But you need PNR. You need pick and roll, man. Kimba ran pick and roll his whole career, his entire career. He didn't have to break guys down all the time. The guards know how to operate. That's what they get paid to do. They get paid to operate it and kill that pick and roll. That's all it is. We don't run enough of it. We got this ISO. Randall doesn't run it. But ISO Randall hasn't worked this season. It's not a knock on Randall, but you got to call a spade a spade. It hasn't worked this season. And if it has worked, it hasn't. What's the name? It hasn't worked in the sense of winning. It's empty stats. So he gets his buckets. But we have to win. We're not winning because he gets his buckets. Last
Yes.
player I saw like that was Kevin Love. You know what I mean? Like, well, last power forward I saw like that was Kevin Love, man, on the Timberwolves team.
Yeah. So Manchild was saying that he would trade Randall for Westbrook since there's only a year and a half left for Westbrook. That's kind of what we mentioned earlier. Would you do that?
Who was it? Randall for Westbrook?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I guess at this point. I mean, they're both low IQ guys, though.
Yeah.
You know, it's low IQ for low IQ. So I guess I would do it because I mean, at least with Westbrook, he has some energy. You know what I mean? At least you know you're getting some energy with Westbrook.
What
He
about
has,
what?
he has fight in him, and that's what we want in New York. We don't knock players for poor performances. It's the energy. Like you bring it when you bring it, then that's what we care about. But when you look lackadaisical, like you don't want to be here, then we ain't gonna want you here. We're gonna run you out of here, pretty much. That's how Randall's been looking. Like he's checked out, yo.
What about what Ashley Ink one said? She
Say that
would
again.
give. What about what Ashley Ink one said? She said, "I would give up Randall, Noel, Fournier, Burks, Kemba, and IQ plus picks for Simmons in a 3 or 4 team trade."
Hmm. See, I like Simmons. To the 4-team trade.
Yeah.
He said. See, the thing is, I like Simmons, but it's the mental aspect. We can't have him do what we can't have him do what he did with Philly. You know, we can't, especially not in New York. Now, as far as the makeup of him, the genetic makeup, the skill
Yeah.
of him being the versatile defender that he is, and that could work. And the unselfish type of player that he is, that could work. But the mental, I don't know. Let's just stay away from guys that's not mentally ready for New York. I think we just need. I like him, but I think we just need to stay away from those guys because I think just what's happening with Randall, I just don't. I don't think we need to.
Yeah, we can't put all our eggs in one basket and then end up in a Randall situation again like that.
Right.
And that's kind of why we drafted the players we drafted because of their high character and things like that. Or else we would have went under after like what was it Jalen Johnson?
Right.
We would have went after guys like that.
My bad.
No, I'm just saying like we would have went after guys like that in the draft if we weren't worried about not IQ, but
Yeah, like Jalen Johnson. They didn't want him because they said he had an attitude, right?
Yeah, or like Porter Jr. who wasn't Porter Jr. part of he was available last year, wasn't he available last year? And then we didn't even make a run for him. Yeah, come to find out, doesn't he have like mental issues right now?
Well, yeah, he has some personal issues with his dad, and stuff. But yeah, he has that Michael Jordan type of attitude. Like, oh, I'm better than so and so. I'm better than you, which is okay to have, but skilled guy, very skilled. But he does have, I think he had a fight with was it the coach over in Houston, and he had a fight with coach in Cleveland. So I don't know, man. I like him skill wise though, so I don't know. We probably would need a guy like that on the bench, but then we have IQ. I thought IQ was our sixth man, so those are guys I would just stay away from. Kevin Porter. Now Christian Wood for Randall, I would do that move in a heartbeat. You mentioned Sabonis before. I didn't really get to cook on that one. Sabonis, I like Sabonis. I like Christian Wood. Those would just be. And it's not a knock on Randall. I just think those would be better fits. I think they would be better fits because of their type of game. They have more of the face-up game. The back-to-basket game may not work for us right now with Randall. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And Sabonis would just be a better fit because of his IQ. He's not as skilled as Randall, but he has a better IQ. You know,
Yeah, I'm with you.
he can't shoot as well as Randall either, but he's a better IQ.
Yeah, just
And Randall had a good game last night, but it didn't translate to a win, man. Right.
right.
But I'm not gonna bash Randall tonight.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to do that either. There's been a lot of bashing on Randall.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
leave him
even-
alone tonight. I'll get to him on the weekend. When I drink on the weekend, I'll get to him. Yeah, I'll deal with that when I'm drunk and get everything out.
yeah, I just think the storm has already happened, and now the calm should be. I mean, what else? What more can you do? I mean, you already got kicked out the game the other day. He got teed up twice.
Right. You know, I didn't understand it. I just feel like that's. Oh, what's your opinion on that?
I mean, it kind of. I mean, it was kind of going throughout the whole game where he was complaining. He gets into with Desmond Bain. He's kind of in their huddle. They're going at it. I mean, but like I mentioned before, where's the guy to separate him? Where's the teammate to be like, calm down, big bro? You know what I'm saying?
But not only that, yes, that too. And where's the guy to get ejected for him? Where's the guy that'll handle that for him? And I think that's where you get a Marcus Smart, probably the same size as Desmond Bain.
Or the guy, or like you mentioned, the guy at the end of the bench, someone who's not even playing. Let me go out there and
yeah, make McBride
get involved. I'm not doing nothing anyways. So what if I get kicked out? So
throw McBride. If you're not gonna give McBride time, what was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say now. Yeah. If you're not gonna give McBride, let him do that then. If you're not gonna use him, let him be the fight. Let him do that then. I don't know, but I think that's where Marcus Smart would be good.
But you know how it goes. If you leave the bench, you know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
you leave the bench and you start something, then you're automatic suspension. So, yeah, you can't just be leaving the bench and starting trouble. All right. So I would like to thank everybody who joined us tonight, and for those who would join us in the replay tomorrow, don't forget to support your boys by smashing that like button on your way out. And y'all have a good one. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we beat the Lakers on Saturday. And see you next Tuesday. We out. Knicks after party.
Peace.